Hello and good evening, our beloved viewers. It's 9 p.m. You are watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Coming up, the headlines. The Prime Minister continues his tour in the interior region. A signing ceremony of a finance agreement for social housing for the military. And on the international scenes, Amnesty International calls Israelis' policy towards Palestinians. Those were the top stories. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. During the second stage of the tour in the interior region on the effectiveness of the decentralization of state service in the region, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamel Mohammed, the head of a strong delegation including the Minister of Justice, Health, Agriculture, Interior, Labor, Budgets, and the delegate for decentralization visit today in the city of Ali Sabih region. This working meeting was held at the Regional Council with all the decentralized service and representative of civil society. During this last working meeting at the Regional Council of Ali Sabih, interaction took place between the stakeholders to establish an inventory and moreover to assess the effectiveness of the decentralized state service. At the end of this exchange with the administrators, the elected officials, the civil society, and the youth of Ali Sabih region also took the floor in turn to express the state of decentralized service in the region and the sub-localities. After the protocols welcomes, the delegation of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamel Mohammed, accompanied by several members of the government, the Secretary General of the Prime Minister Mr. Naguib Abdullah Mohammed, participated in the first meeting with the decentralized service of Ali Sabih region. The ins and outs of the meeting were for the delegation led by the former to explain the process of decentralization of state service desired by the Djiboutian government in order to bring the administrations closer to the citizens. Let us recall that this tour of the Prime Minister in the region of interior of the country will continue to the promotion of a good governance and the practice of evaluation of a state service at all levels with the main objective that enhance action and encourage citizens dynamic of action and inclusive participations guarantee of the construction of a prosperous, unite and united Djibouti at the service of the citizens. For his part, in his speech, the Prime Minister has acquired advance in his speech in this policy desired by the head of state, he said on the spot, to create the condition and the basis to allow citizens to flourish wherever they are on national territory. The Prime Minister has recalled that this tour that he made in Ali Sabih region aims and will contribute to the promotion of good governance and the practice of the evaluation of the state service at all levels, so with the main objective that of enhancing the action and encourage action citizens inclusive participating and unite the Djiboutian citizens. In the same context, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed inaugurated the broom production plant called in the Ali Sabih area. This business was started by the Chalk with provide job opportunities for young people living in this area. The Prime Minister received detailed information and clarification on the task of this factory and its most important activities, as well as on the opportunities it offers and the quantity of productions. Other national news now. The deliberation of the 40 ordinary session of the Executive Council of the African Union opened today on Wednesday in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa. A high-level Djiboutian delegation led by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mohamed Ali Yusuf, took part in the work of this mission. The delegation included the ambassador of Djibouti to Ethiopia, Mr. Abdi, and ambassador of Ethiopia, director of multilateral relations at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Idris Gele. The Executive Council will examine a certain number of items on the agenda, including the adoption of the report of a permanent representative committee, the study of the annual report of the African Union and its origin, the study of the interim report of the COVID 19 pandemic and its social impact, as well as the study of the report on these institutional reforms of the African Union. The Executive Council of this session, hosted by the African Union Commission, was inaugurated in the presence of the head of officials of the African Union Commission, the Ministry of 55 African Union member states, and officials of the organs office in the Union, in partners of the Executive Committee, examine the annual report of the Federation and its organs, as well as the report of the Commission of the Executive Council and the Commission. In His Excellency the Minister of Defense in charge of Relation and Parliament, Mr. Hassan Umar Mohammed Burhan, shared today at the General Directorate of the International Relation of the Army Forces a signing ceremony for an financing agreement for a construction project housing for the benefit of the National Army Forces. The initiative for the large-scale national social housing project came for His Excellency the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, and the Prime Minister, the Supreme Commander of the Army Forces, and who has made a priority of his policy of promoting and providing housing for low-income families. On the arrival of the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with the Parliament at the headquarters of the General Directorate of International Relation, he was received by the Chief of General Staff of the Army Forces, Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim. The objective of this ceremony was a project is to build a total of 3,700 housing and Parliament. Mr. Hassan Omar Mohammed were sign a bilateral agreement between the army forces of Djibouti and said The bank aims to complete the second phases of this project, which will allow 700 families of the army forces to have suitable housing.
lagu aarsanayay moogtahay askariyo ina tahay awoodii lagu aarsanayay moogtahay askariyo aasaaskii nabadiyo abaabulihii guushiyo ambaqaadkii nabadiyo eebadii dagaalkiyo indhihiina tahay moogtahay askariyo aasaaskii nabadiyo abaabulihii guushiyo ambaqaadkii nabadiyo eebadii dagaalkiyo indhihiina tahay
In a speech to the general director of a Turkish company, Mr. Zakaria Ersin, who delivered a speech after the conclusion of the agreement, said some words. Let's listen to him.
Minister of Defense, His Excellency General Chief of Army, Djibouti Armed Force. I would like to thank you as a General Manager of Societe Ersa here, being the signatory of the contract for 700 houses financed by BCI Bank. And I would like to here express our commitment, and I would like to inform Djiboutian people that this week, Sunday, we are going to commence the work at site and start the project. This project is very important for our company because this is a perfect example for whole Africa for a social housing project which is completely successful by the financing part, by the Djiboutian Armed Force, and our company will do the high quality work to show appreciation for that company to our client. Thank you very much.
For his part, Colonel Mohammed Qayad Gili, Deputy Chief of Defense Staff, confirmed in his speech that it is a social housing, and he said it will allow our soldiers to have accommodation and will undoubtedly improve their living condition and their daily lives. Under the high patronage of the Ministry of Higher Education and Research is Dr. Nabil Mohammed, at the University of Djibouti, at the University Center for Industrial Science and Technology, organized this morning a graduation ceremony for the first promotion of students and center students. The ceremony took place in the presence of a member of the government, the chief of the general staff, and also the mayor of Djibouti City, Fatuma Awale, as well as the director general for the center, and a member of the diplomatic corps, a representative of a non-governmental organization, and other guests, including graduate students, also participate in this event. It should be noted that the central of this university for industrial science and technologies is a private institution of a technical university education, and it was officially inaugurated under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergeli. In February 2018, the center awards a bachelor's degree in the three major computing and information technologies, industrial, election, and central and control, in addition to electronical energy. The objective of this center are to accompany the rapid evolution of the file of technological and industrial studies, to work on the development of the program and to develop the expertise of member of the educational staff. It was also aimed to train qualified and specialized manager in the scientific, technological, and industrial files, and to contribute to meeting the need of the society in the various technical disciplines, and to link the results of education with the requirement of the labor market. On this occasion, diplomas were distributed to the members of the first promotion, who received certificate from the Ministry of Higher Education and the senior official, which will open up promoting the prospect and allow them to engage in the market work. The Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Researches, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, delivered a speech in which he congratulated the graduating students, praising their effort over the past 3 years. The minister took this opportunity to also pay tribute to the important role played by the Higher Center for Industrial Science and Technology in qualifying young people in various technical fields, which will enable them in the future to engage in the labor market, pledging to support the center's efforts. The Executive Secretary for Risk and Disaster Management at the Ministry of Interior organized today at the Sheraton Hotel a ceremony to launch the review of the National Disaster Risk Reduction Strategy and development of a national plan of action for the year 2022. And and the coming 2024, Mr. Siraj Omar Abdul Qadir, Secretary General of the Ministry of Interior and Chairman of the Technical Committee for Disaster Risk Reduction, share each of them in the presence of the Executive Secretary for Risk and Disaster Management, but also the representative of the World Bank was also present in this meeting. It was also this intersectorial technical committee to risk and disaster management. She congratulated the Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and also the executive secretary in charge of the risk and disaster management, who had displayed no effort to reduce the disaster risk in a sustainable way at the level of the Republic. As part of the proactive policy of the municipality to beautifying of the city of Djibouti, the tree planting initiative continues. This ceremony was organized by the mayor of Djibouti City in cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture and Ethiopian expertise, who donate 40,000 trees to strengthen relation between the two friendly countries. The mayor of Djibouti, Mr. Fatuma Awale, and the Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Abdi Mohammed, participate in this event with the participation of the official from the Ministry of Agriculture. The mayor of Djibouti, accompanied by the Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, plant a tree to set an example for the others. In his speech, the Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti stressed that this donation of trees aims to strengthen fraternal ties. The ambassador thanked the mayor of Djibouti and the Ministry of Agriculture for their effort in the implementation of this beautiful program of beautification of the city of Djibouti. He hailed the level of friendship between Djibouti and Ethiopia country.
So they have to participate in every social and environmental economic activities in Djibouti. So we are happy to be here today's program. And I would like to thank all the participants of the ministry from mayor office. And we will continue this cooperation in the future. Whenever the Djibouti government or the Djibouti city wanted to expand this program, we are ready to participate and to cooperate.
For her part, the mayor of Djibouti mentioned this approach, which aim to beautify, she said, the capital by making it a green city. She said the green space have function and roles represent in improving the health and living environment of a human being, maintaining ecological and climate balance and guaranteeing this function and reducing noises and damage, conclude the mayor of Djibouti. The United Youth Movement, in close collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Culture, continues its awareness campaign on the importance of a digital citizenship for young people in various community development centers, where it holds today a conference at the Community Development Center located in the 7th arrondissement in the context of awareness campaign was this awareness campaign was organized at the Community Development Center and in the presence of the leader of the movement, Mr. Ahmed Hamed. This youth initiative aims to promote a culture of digital citizenship to advance the development of our country. For their part, the young people of the 7th district welcomed this initiative and expressed their satisfaction, pledging the transmit the message they receive during the campaign to their peers in the district in order to change their behavior to be a digital citizen and taking into account values, good morals, and social norms through the responsible use of the internet and new social media. It should be noted that this initiative aims to deepen the spirit of citizenship and maintain social cohesion. This social convoy, organized by the United Youth Movement in close collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Culture, continues until February 7. And now the Ministry of Health through the National Institute of Public Health of Djibouti is continuing an insecticide spraying campaign which aim to eliminate mosquitoes and other harmful insects. In this context, the traveling team of the National Institute of the Public Health implement the campaign in many districts, more precisely in the 5th district located in the municipality of Laos. The objective of this large-scale campaign is to reduce the spread of mosquitoes, the main factor of transmission of malaria, and at the same time to work to eradicate flies and insects responsible for the malaria while destroying their breeding grounds. This campaign, which the ministry implements each year at the same time, will enable the inhabitants of 3 municipalities of the capital to take the appropriate measure the appropriate measures and good hygiene practice in order to prevent the risk of epidemic. It should be noted that the spraying operation are mainly targeted at the areas where malaria is prevailing at the city of Djibouti, and actually make an important contribution to eradicate the spread of malaria. And now, as part of a fight against smuggling of illegal goods of all kinds, the National Gendarmerie of Dihil area stopped a tanker truck that was illegally selling fuel and gasoil. This operation was carried out through a National Gendarmerie patrols, where they notice tank truck parked on the side of the road, in which several partners found that the driver was selling fuel illegally. After that, the customs official arrested the driver, and the gendarmerie confiscated the 45 capacity water balance. And to finish our national news with obituary, we regret to announce you the death of the late Ismail Wais Asowe, which occurred yesterday afternoon at the Italian hospital. He was born in 1955 in Djibouti. The disease leaves behind him 6 children and 11 grandchildren. May Allah welcome him in his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And now moving on to the international scenes. The International on Tuesday, Amnesty released a report that labeled Israeli as the oppressed state, becoming the latest organization to join a file of human rights groups that have used the terms to describe Israelis' discriminatory treatment of Palestinians. The 280-page report, based upon researches conducted from 2017 to 2021, said that since 1948, Israel has pursued policies that benefit Jewish Israelis while restricting the right of Palestinians. Israel's system of institutionalized segregation and discrimination against Palestinians as a racial group in all areas under its control amount to a system of apartheid and a serious violation of Israelis' human rights obligations, and said that the segregation is conducted in a systematic and highly institutionalized manner. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.